Idaho, the place you keep hearing about when talk turns to relocation and an ideal place to work from home. But what about Idaho for retirees? Is it crazy to be thinking about moving to Idaho for retirement? I'm Laura Triratnobus, an Idaho-born realtor with John L. Scott Real Estate here in Boise, and I've helped many retirees settle happily in the Treasure Valley. When considering the perfect place to retire, everyone has their own vision of what that ideal life looks like. For many, it means being near kids and grandkids, and quite a few of the retirees I've helped have moved to Idaho exactly for that reason. For others, it's Idaho's active lifestyle and outdoor adventures that are appealing. Or maybe you're seeking just a slower pace of life with less traffic, less stress, and less hassle. But is Idaho really a good place for retirees to live? Let's break it down by looking at some of the pros and some of the cons. Cost of living is top of mind for most all retirees, which is why Florida has been on the retirement radar for decades. But with ever more powerful tropical storms and hurricanes causing soaring homeownership costs in the Sunshine State, Florida is moving down the ranks as a retirement destination. Meanwhile, Idaho consistently ranks as one of the more affordable places to live in the United States. While housing costs have risen in recent years, they are still relatively lower than in many coastal states or larger metropolitan areas. Many California retirees, for example, can still sell their California homes and buy a larger, newer home in Idaho and still have money left over for that RV they've always wanted or that trip to Europe. With reasonable property taxes, affordable homeowners insurance, a relatively low flat rate state income tax, and a lower cost of utilities and groceries, Idaho allows retirees to stretch their retirement savings further. Next, access to good health care is crucial. I'm not sure if I should list this one as an Idaho pro or an Idaho con for retirees. Larger towns and cities like Boise, Nampa, Twin Falls, Coeur d'Alene, and Idaho Falls have reputable health care systems with well-equipped hospitals, clinics, and specialists. In addition, the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Boise offers care specifically for military retirees. But the Boise metropolitan area has more health care resources than any other part of the state, and retirees would be well advised to live within an easy drive of Boise. I mean, like 30 to 40 minutes max. I also advise all of my retiree clients to sign up for the very affordable Life Flight service and also the Ada County Paramedics Vital Ride service if they live in Ada County. Either one of those services could save you a lot of money if your insurance doesn't cover the full cost of air transport or an ambulance ride. Now, the problem with Idaho's healthcare system is twofold. First, we've had a big increase in population over the last decade, while at the same time, medical professionals are leaving for states with better pay, among other reasons. So we do need more medical personnel of all types. So here's a thought. Are you moving to Idaho? Convince your favorite doctor or nurse to move here as well. And if this video is helpful, please take a moment to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Number 3, Idaho has relatively few natural disasters and a mild climate. While Idaho experiences all 4 seasons, the climate tends to be more moderate than in other states. Southern Idaho, including areas like Boise, enjoys relatively mild winters with less snowfall compared to the northern and central regions of the state. This means retirees can enjoy the changing seasons without the extreme weather that some other northern states experience. Now, we did have a terrible winter in 2016-2017. We called it Snowmageddon, with 3 feet of snow on the ground in the Treasure Valley and below freezing temperatures for 2 months. That was a very, very unusual event for this part of Idaho, and I have to say it caught most of us off guard. We didn't even have snow shovels, but it's certainly not the norm. And although we do have hot, dry summers, we're not talking Arizona-style hot, where temperatures may reach 110 degrees for weeks or even months at a time. We have gorgeous fall weather and pretty, somewhat rainy springs in the Boise area. We simply don't have the risk of extreme weather, events like hurricanes, tornadoes, tropical storms, big earthquakes, that other parts of the U.S. see on a regular basis. All in all, Idaho's climate makes it a great place to live. Number 4, a strong sense of community. Idaho cities and towns still have that small town feel, even Boise, where neighbors know one another and there is a strong sense of belonging. Whether you're moving to Boise, Meridian, or a smaller town like Emmett, my hometown, Caldwell, or Middleton, you'll find friendly faces and welcoming neighborhoods. There are also many senior centers, clubs, and organizations specifically for retirees, making it easy to meet new friends and stay socially active. Finally, Idaho is famous for its breathtaking landscapes, from the rugged Sawtooth Mountains to the serene lakes and rivers. For retirees who enjoy outdoor activities like hiking, fishing, boating, or just taking in the views, Idaho offers countless opportunities to stay active and enjoy nature. The state's 4 distinct seasons allow for a variety of activities year-round, from skiing in the winter to enjoying warm summer days by the water. I think everyone can agree that spending time outdoors in nature is healthy for both body and mind, and that outdoor recreation is one of the keys to a long and healthy life. So what are some reasons that Idaho might not be a good fit for you in your retirement years? Personally, I think proximity to loved ones is really important. If you're moving to Idaho to be near family, I think you'll find you've made a good decision. But what if family is a full day's plane ride away from Idaho, or a long car drive? Can you or they afford that airfare and the time on a regular basis? Idaho isn't exactly a national transportation hub. East Coast cities, as well as towns in the South, are pretty much a full day of travel with at least 1 or 2 connections if you're going to come from Idaho. So think about where you want to be traveling to if you move to the Gem State, and how realistic it will be to make those trips. Now, as a realtor, I can't avoid talking about rising housing costs. While Idaho is generally more affordable than the coastal states, especially California, Oregon, Washington, housing prices have seen a sharp rise over the last decade, especially in popular areas like Boise, Sun Valley, and Coeur d'Alene. Retirees on a fixed income may find it harder to purchase property, although there are still affordable options in smaller towns and rural areas. The question is, how far do you want to live from a major healthcare hub or transportation hub? Next, limited public transport. Idaho's a largely rural state, and public transport options can be limited even in Boise and the larger cities. Retirees who don't want to drive, or who need easy access to public transit for medical appointments or daily errands, may find it challenging in the more remote areas. Even here in the Treasure Valley, with a number of public transportation options available, it can be time-consuming to wait for a bus or a shuttle. So do take the time to look into your local transport options before making a decision to move to Idaho, especially if you're not going to have family here. So how about those cold winters in central and northern Idaho? While southern Idaho enjoys more temperate weather, central and northern Idaho can experience pretty harsh winters with significant snowfall. If you're someone who prefers warm weather year-round, or who has health conditions that are aggravated by the cold, the winter months could be a drawback, especially in the central and northern parts of the state. Honestly, I wouldn't really recommend that a retiree move to any part of Idaho other than southern Idaho, and especially the Treasure Valley, for the reasons I've outlined above. For many retirees, Idaho does offer a unique combination of affordability, outdoor beauty, community, and a mild climate, making Idaho an appealing place to settle down in after retirement. However, rising housing prices, limited public transport, and sometimes cold winters may be considerations for those weighing their options. As with any decision, it's important to visit the area, explore the communities here, and see if Idaho's lifestyle aligns with your vision for retirement. If you have any questions or would like to explore potential retirement housing in Idaho, feel free to reach out. I'd love to help you find your perfect spot in my beautiful home state. Thanks for watching.